My experience with narcissists pretty much my whole life, because I was raised around them, and I didn't know what it was until finally I said, there was a site, I don't know if it's still around, I doubt it, datingasociopath.org. And so I studied that for many years, and I worked with this sociopath, and she always wanted to ride home, but she never offered money. And everything that she said, I started seeing patterns, that it lined up with what the dating a sociopath comments were saying. And then after that, narcissism teaching came along and all that, and it kind of exploded. And so you can expound on it now, but you couldn't back then. And so a common pattern that I saw with all of them is they were kind of dumb. They really didn't go into life to learn skills and trades and knowledge. Most of them were just dumb. They learned one skill good. They learned one job, and some of them never learned a job. Most of them don't even learn one job, but they learned one skill really good, and that's how they make their money, and that's how they survive, and that's before everything and everybody, even God. They put whatever makes them the most money, they put that before God, And so it's really off the roof. The more you think, the more you look back and you see the patterns, and it's like, oh, this is so obvious, not even fun. But when you're dealing with a narcissistic female, Jezebel, whatever, she's going to try to flip the script. And it used to be, before Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, it used to be they could make the man look like the evil one because she's getting in his face and, and trying to make him lose his temper and all that. And so that's what they try to do. The narcissist female is trying to get the man to lose his cool to make him look bad, And so the best thing to do once you see those traits, just walk away. With anybody. I don't care who it is. It don't have to be a relationship. It could be work related. It could be neighbors, friends, whatever. It's best just to walk away. Don't get in an argument with them. If they can't have a logical conversation and be introspective, then you can't do it. You can't win the battle. Even if they're in the wrong, you can't win. They will never admit wrong. They cannot admit wrong. Even if you went before a judge and the judge said, you're wrong, here's the proof, they would still deny it, Some crazy people. And think about when they get older. Whew. My experience with these Jezebel, narcissistic, psychopathic women has been that they paint a good picture to try to draw you in. But once you step in, you realize it's nothing but chaos. And you're like, it looked peaceful on the outside. On the inside, there was no peace, there's no truth, there's no goals, there's no wisdom, there's no stability. It's just all up and down chaos, drama. And when you go through it enough, you realize when somebody approaches you to try to get in your world, you're like, let me ask some questions, see what kind of drama they got going on. They got drama with their mama, with their daddy, with their sisters, their brothers. They got drama all the time. Like most of the people don't even know how to drive on the highway these days. They don't even know how to drive. They've been trained, but they don't know how to drive. Now, if this guy comes over again, look at that. Why is he going so slow? See that? You're actually seeing it real time how people don't know how to drive. This is not 55 mile an hour speed limit. So the narcissist is actually dumb. They're dumb and they're lazy and they don't want to learn a new skill. And all they can do is manipulate and sorcery and witchcraft. And Eve is playing the same game she played today. The unsaved woman is playing the same game that she played back in Genesis 3. The same game. If you see drama on the job or you see drama in the family, there's some other thing going on. They're trying to pull somebody in or get somebody in trouble. Anytime there's drama, that's where they work the best. They don't care. They just laugh at the drama. They think it's funny, but it's not. But until you wake up to the fact that these people are real. And here's something else I notice about the narcissist. They're playing like 5 different people, you know. That car took a while to take off. Look at that. They're playing 5. They got 5 different people they're playing all the time. And it's sad. In other countries, in other cities, in other states, in other places, you know. They're playing people all the time. And then when you give them some insight about how this is a simulation, is everything's repeating, they call you crazy, but they're actually playing a simulation themselves. They're actually NPCs inside the simulation and playing the games, and they can't even see what they're doing is wrong. When you can't see what you're doing is wrong, and it's obvious to everybody that it's wrong, that's a mind game off the roof, you know. That's an off the roof mind game that they're playing on themselves. They play their own self. Every unsaved person is narcissistic. I'll say it. I've just said it. It's an absolute fact. Every unsaved person is narcissistic. Why? You might say that's a bold statement. Yeah, it's a bold statement. I don't care if they're teaching about narcissism. They're unsaved, they're narcissists. That's why they're good teachers on it. If they're not saved, they're narcissists. Why? Because there's 2 spirits and there's 2 kingdoms. The spirit of truth and the spirit of error. And the only way you're going to find the spirit of truth in Jesus. And so the narcissist is a child of the devil. And the devil is the ultimate narcissist. And wisdom's justified over children. And so what protected me before I got enlightened about narcissism, I knew my Bible, and I knew that if they speak not according to this word, there's no light in them. And if they're not born again, they're a child of the devil, because wisdom's justified over children, and they're going to do what the devil does, and that means lie, manipulate, cheat, scam, murder, con game, whatever. I knew. They didn't have any Bible. I knew they were narcissistic. Even if they got saved, it takes a while to renew your mind. But a lot of saved people who are newly saved, they're still caught up in the system because they think that somebody that they married to or dating, that person can get right. And they can't. They can't get right. Only Jesus can get you right. And even then, you have to go to Jesus directly and say, Lord, help me. I'm missing something. What am I missing? And when he shows you, you're like, oh, all these people are Babylonians. That's why I quit. That's why I took a vacation from rideshare for 1.5 years and might do 2 years. I might not go back now for another 6 months. So I got some of these sales salespeople trying to sell you something, trying to do a group chat. A group chat. Now, what's that about? They're so psychopathic and sociopathic. They try to pull you into their little cube, their little matrix, their little box, any way they can. I want you to think about what I'm trying to tell you here. Just unfold this, unfurl it, think about it. A narcissist can only survive if they create their little box, their little shell, their little 666 Borg cube hive where they're the queen bee Jezebel, right? And so if they create a box, whether it's a corporation, whether it's a church, a 501c church, they want to pull you into that box to survive. They need new members, and every member that they drain, they have to bring new members in. New members, new members, new members. This is why I got attacked by narcissists so much. They thought I was like them. No, I was just building a channel based on the gospel. But the ones who tried to get in the door, they thought, oh, he's good about building up subscribers because I had 10,000. No, it's not about that. I'm trying to get out the message. I don't care if you're a narcissist. While you're there, you need to hear that Jesus saves. And you're not going to have any excuse when you meet God at the great white throne judgment, because you will. And they really try to project onto you what's them. They're narcissistic psychopaths, and they're trying to project it onto you, you know. And they'll lie and cheat and defame and create and blurb and blob and whatever. Blurb, blog, text on your phone, send email, sign you up with fake accounts that you never signed up for. They do that too. You just all you can do is just hit spam, and it eventually goes to spam. Just keep hitting spam. And certain keywords, you go into Yahoo or Google and it blocks those keywords. If you're preaching Jesus and you're living righteous, they're going to try to make you look like you're unrighteous. If you're living righteous every day, go to work, go home, pay your bills, mind your own business, they're going to try to make you look unrighteous because they're unrighteous. They want to make you look like them. They're so corrupt and so vile. A witch is so wicked and vile that not only is she a narcissist, she's demon possessed. And you can actually, if you're around them long enough, you'll actually see demons kind of appear out of their face and stuff. And it's not necessarily physical. It's like you see, it's like all of a sudden 3 demons out of nowhere come out into the spiritual manifestation, and you're like, did I see what I just saw? And you question what you just saw, and sure enough, now it could be, most of them are probably trying to poison you, and they probably put you on some kind of psychedelic, but it is still, you saw a demon come out of their face. There's a reason. Yeah, they tried to poison you. Think about it. Casting spells and putting menstrual fluid in people's food and stuff like that. How sick are you? Poisoning people. I mean, how sick do you have to be? You have to be really sick. Seriously. Instead of learning a new skill, they're trying to steal, kill, and destroy. Instead of getting good at something and walking by faith and trusting God, they have to trust themselves. I don't know if you can see that red sky. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Turn that into a painting. Blue and red. A blue and red sky probably means drama. The red face-off, red versus blue, you know.